Welcome everyone to the Booyah Cup L-Style Shootout. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a good one. We've got a little overhead here. We'll take a glimpse. We've got a couple individuals, our first two players on the stream, as it's going to be Ryan Gavers and Catherine Middleton is going to be our ladies participant. So we're going to head on over to Ryan's board, as that's going to be board number one, as he's already underway here with our first competitor in the L-Style Shootout, being Ryan Gervis. So hopefully I got that name right. I'm kind of doing double duty as I've got a ton of stuff going on in the background until Sean arrives here in just a moment's time. This is a count-up match as we'll head on over to board number one. There we go. Let's change those boards around. Be prepared a little bit. There we go. Should be an interesting go here, as we're going to do a count-up. Each individual player will do a count-up, and that'll determine our seeding here, folks. So Ryan will get to go first, followed by Mike Maloney, Shane Johnson. Looks like we got Tyler Montgomery, Collis Calderon, Matt Gaither, and then Lavelle Sterling, Nick East, Darren Ackaby, and J.C. Martinez being our top 10 for, or our first 10. My apologies. For the ladies, Catherine Middleton is, of course, our first participant, followed by Abby Spott, Trisha Romero, Crystal Anderson, Brianna Osterheld, Paula Murphy. So we'll figure out along the way as we go. This will determine seeding once again, folks, for that Booyah Cup. We do have a couple players that have not arrived yet. If they do come up in the order, they will be skipped. and then they will be one of our last competitors. So, or one of our last seeded competitors, I should say that a little bit more correctly. Big last there for Ryan. Remember, this is a round of 8. So 8 rounds here. For our highest score. I'll try my best to keep track of everybody. Will be a little bit tougher to do, but until Sean gets here per se. Great 180 there. As we can see, Catherine's already on 617. She's getting ready to do her last round. We'll keep it right here for this one as she's getting ready to round off, and then we'll head back on over to Ryan. It'll be 686 for Catherine Middleton to start us off. For Ryan, big triple there. Jason, we appreciate that, man. We got Jeremy keeping track on the floor, but it's always good to have multiple eyes on this bad boy. And I have a ticker and a leaderboard as well that I'll try to stay on track of and give you guys that information. So, last round here for Ryan. Next up for the ladies is Abby Spot. Big last. 886 there for Gervis. Head back on over to our overhead as he'll call out our numbers. Hopefully it'll give us a minute here. And these folks will get 6 practice darts, folks. They'll get 6 practice darts. So that is all they will get. So you better be doing your practicing in the background because you're not going to get it once you get up there. As we'll see Mike Maloney taking his final few as Abby Spot steps up here as well. And it looks like we'll get underway here. Big start for Mike Maloney. Looking for a 180 start. Not meant to be. For those tuning in, definitely want to keep your attention here on this page. Action's going to go very, very quick in these, as we're not going to waste any time at all, folks, getting on to our next competitors. So keep it right here. See your number 1 seed. See who your last seed's going to be. Well, our last seed's already determined. It'll be that on-site qualifier. My apologies, it's happening in the background right now. For those interested in keeping up with that one, check out CompuSport. I believe that's where the bracket is. Might take him just a second. The step back there. Great step back because it paid off for him. Big 180 for Mike Maloney as he steps in for his last round. Mike Maloney with a 1,007. We'll keep track of Abby spot here just for a second. We'll actually go ahead and head on over to board number 2. We'll watch her conclude this one before we head back on over to Shane Johnson to watch him finish up. Abby usually rapid fire with her darts, maybe feeling a little bit of uncomfortableness and a little bit of uneasiness with this one is what I'm coming around to. We'll see how she finishes up here. Last round incoming, 686, Catherine Middleton's score. She's gonna best that, so 760 for Abby Spot. Back over to board number 1. We'll adjust our mics. Going to be a lot of switching going on, so bear with us if you would. Looks like Trisha Romero will come up for the ladies. Next up is going to be Tyler Montgomery for the men. Fix this ticker here for you all. There we go. A little bit easier to keep track that way. Put that ticker up there for you all to see scores in real time. Well, there it is. It's 6:45 for Shane Johnson. Honestly, he's going to feel a little let down with that one. I think he would have wanted a little bit more from that attempt, if I do say so myself. But that's going to happen from time to time. That's why we're doing a little count up to determine our seeding. Head on over to board number 2 as we get a look at Trisha Romero. Trisha kind of washing that one off. Upset with herself. 3 rounds in, only 86 points scored. For those that haven't gathered here, it's Fat Bull for the ladies, Split Bull for the men. So that is the difference here, as the men have the Split Bull going. A little bit trickier task. Tyler just getting underway with his count-up round, it looks like, on the men's board. Finally collects on a bowl. She's been looking for that for quite some time. Up next for the ladies is going to be Crystal Anderson. the last. So last round incoming for Trish Romero, and you can see her shaking her head. She's not happy with herself in this one. She's going to have an unfortunate seeding, I do believe. But anything can happen. Yeah, 507 score for Trisha, as we'll head on over to watch Tyler finish up his round. Does find a big 171 there. Oh, no, I was wrong. Sorry. 3 in the bed. I had a hidden, was looking down, adding Trisha's score. I guess it would help if we hopped on over to his board. That's going to be the trickier thing today. Do apologize on that one. So 2 more rounds here for Tyler. Currently Mike Maloney with that 1,007 score line. Tyler looking in good position to be ahead of Shane Johnson. That last start save, there's 720 on the board for Tyler. That'll put him in 3rd currently on the men's side, as we'll go ahead and update our score line or our ticker and head back on over to board number 2 as it's Crystal Anderson already underway in her count up. Man, I keep forgetting to do that. Got to switch the board before I take more scores and write them down. Trying to figure out a little bit better way to divide the men and the women there for you guys on the ticker, so it's a better viewership for you. I think I found the way, so we'll do that one. Currently almost 250 joining us on Facebook. YouTube numbers look very good as well. We appreciate you being here for our coverage of the L-Style Shootout. Definitely want to thank L-Style for presenting this, sponsoring this event. Definitely nice of them to do that one. The last round for Crystal here. She could possibly slide ahead in front of Catherine Middleton at 686 right now. But not going to happen now, as it's going to be a 584 score line for Crystal Anderson, as we'll head on over to board number 1 once again. As this is Matt Gaither, so Carlos Calderon is not going to have a score for this one. unfortunately, as it looks like he is going to be at the bottom of the list. He'll be skipped over. We'll update our score line here. Going a little bit quicker. All right, last round incoming for Matt. 747 for Matt in this one. Put him about midway, currently third on the list, as Brianna is currently starting off her count up round. Must admit, this is a really cool way that we're doing the seating here. We're deciding the seating here for our Booyah Cup. I really like this one. Yes, 584 for Crystal there, Jason, is what I had down. We'll see that scroll across the screen here in just a moment's time. Up next after Brianna is going to be the one and only Miss Paula Murphy. Looking forward to seeing what she does this weekend. She's been on a tear on the steel tip side of things. Last round for Brianna. Does find it with the last one, but 521 is going to be her score. As we'll head back on over to our over screen and back to board number 1. As we take a look at Nick Yeast from around, I believe, this area, about an hour away. I think he's either Wisconsin or Illinois. Can't remember off the top of my head. That's quite all right. Looks like Mr. Sean Green is here as he asked me for directions to the place. Nick East with 730 points scored. We did skip over Lavelle Sterling as he was scheduled to be in front of Nick, but unfortunately he was not able to be here. So I think he's actually showing up tomorrow evening from what I recall. So yes, for those that are just tuning in, this is count up for seeding for Sunday's Booyah Cup. You know, when I keep reiterating that, but it's important for you all that are just joining us to know that information. think Paula's biggest thing to overcome this weekend is that she's going to have to overcome the fact that she's been playing steel tip week in and week out for consistent weeks. I mean, she's been all over the country playing WDF events. It's going to be a little bit difficult for her to make the change over to soft tip. Just what I think. Darand Ave underway on the men's side as he's currently sitting at 266. 4 round. This will be his 4th round coming up, so we'll keep it right here for the conclusion of Paula's. Jason, that's a good question, buddy. I don't know how Jeremy's going to figure that one out. I'll have to ask him, and then we'll let you know in due time. I'm sorry I don't have that information off the top of my head as to what's going to happen to those no-score players and where they'll be seated at, if they'll have a last-second count-up arrangement or not. Not sure on that one. Last round for Paula Murphy. 760 is what she's trying to beat. And she will do that. She will move into that #1 spot on the ladies' side with a score of 830 points. Love that Darren's rocking the USA Darts attire. Shout out to you, Darren, for that one. Two solid trip 20s there for Darren. Or Darian, sorry. I don't know why I said Darren. Darren Young is what I'm thinking. Darand Ave. Overall, 9-11 scored. That is going to be second currently on the rankings list. So kudos to Darian, who moves into spot numero dos. Moving back over to board number 2. It's going to be Carolyn. Carolyn unhappy so far, but this is a difficult task. You've got people watching you get one single go at the count-up. One single go can be very, very difficult. Lots of pressure, especially when you only get 6 darts. Score line for you folks. Carolyn's got 3 rounds left. Hoping to find lots of bulls in these next 2 rounds. Big last 2 darts is a score of 6-11 for Carolyn. Yeah, definitely across the face there for her is her play. Moving on over to J.C. Martinez, who's getting underway here with his count-up round. Solid shot, I believe, out of Arizona. That's Sean Green just coming in right now as we speak. They'll wait for JC, and then they'll come in here in just a moment's time. Looks like it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the closet, buddy. Heyo. JC looking for a big 180. Not able to find it. It's a 140 instead.
Sean. Yeah.
Is this yours? Is that Will's?
It's not mine.
No.
Is that yours?
Not mine.
Nope.
Nope.
If there's anything illegal on there, that's definitely not mine.
All right, we'll just forget about it till later. All righty. JC coming into his last round now. Big 180 there. Currently in first is Mike Maloney with a 1007 score line. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. Yeah, that's a pretty good score. And a split bull count up, I'm going to be honest with you. 867 for JC Martinez. Alrighty, next up is Olivia Terry as we see Sean Green hop out of the closet there. Yep, we're in a little closet tucked in right between these players, so don't mind us as we continue to stream here from the closet. Hey, it's better because none of these players can hear us that way. So here we go with Olivia Terry. We're just getting underway on our men's side as well, as I believe it's Garrett Rakowski over there. We'll update our score line here. We'll kind of intermingle between the two. Going to be tough to catch both of these guys, but we will try. No, it's not the board, but we're rocking with one board cam, so we'll head back on over to Olivia for round number 4. Olivia looking to work her way into one of the top seating spots. See if she can do that. Garrett sitting on a 405 going into round number 5 right now. We'll quickly hop on over to his board right after this score here from Olivia. She's going to finish up with a score of 698. Here we go with Garrett. Not really finding or producing quality darts right now, I'll be honest with you. What we're used to seeing from Garrett. One hole into the neighbor. 728 currently. See a good crowd watching this one. Nice to see that. We did add some seating for those individuals that want to check out the entertainment here in the finals area. 8:28 for Garrett Rakowski. We'll head on over to this board here, as it's going to be Caitlin Myers, who just took her 6 darts, and she'll get underway here. Don't know much about Caitlin. If you know anything about her, let us know in the chat. Yeah, Zach, we tried to set up the dual screen. It just wasn't working for us quite yet. It didn't find a great way to do it to where everything was visible, so that's quite all right. We'll keep continuing to hop in and out. That way we can catch the final marks on each of these individuals. We need to add a couple scores. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Jacob Koch getting underway on board at number 1 for the men. Steven Adams letting us know that this young lady is solid. Saw her shooting an NY bull shooter, so appreciate the information, Steven. Great viewership for this. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us that like. Give us that follow. If you have not, we appreciate you joining us here for our coverage of the L-Style Shootout to decide seeding for the Booyah Cup. And I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do this one because it looks like Jacob is going to be done before this young lady. So we'll go ahead and turn it on to his one so we can get a score for him, as he's going to the 19s here. 2 rounds to close this one up. And the last round for Koch. 7:28 currently. Overall score of 785 for Jacob. So we'll head back on over to this young lady who's actually in great form to best out Paula Murphy. Paula currently sitting at 830 points. If she can put in 2 big bulls, she will move into that number 1 seed. Won't be the 1 seed, but she does insert herself into the 2 seed. Congrats to her. That being a Caitlin Myers, who put in an impressive display here. Well, here we go, Robbie, the Whiz Kid, underway, as Crystal Wagner will step up for the ladies' side. Robbie finding a big trip 20 there. Has got to continue to add on to it. For those folks at home wondering as well, how about this for payouts for this? Yes, we do have payouts for this. $600 to our first place man, $300 to second, $200 to third, $100 to fourth. For the ladies, $300 for first, $200 for second, $100 for third. So 4 of our 32 are getting paid for the men. 3 of our 16 are getting paid for the ladies in this count-up event. Pretty cool that they're getting some money thrown at them for participating in this unique event. I mean, less than a minute's work, and you could do $600 added to your name. That's a pretty good payday, huh? Last round for Robbie. What he can come up with. Be a nice 180 to end it, as it's a 788 score line for him. As we will move on over to Crystal, who's throwing very well into this one. 34.87 average currently. She's already sitting on 523 with 3 rounds left, folks. Now the score to beat is Paula Murphy at 830. She could do this with a nice hat trick here. Due to catch up on a couple scores. 3 to be exact after this one. 788 for Crystal Wagner, as I do believe that's going to be a 3rd place start, or a 3rd seed for her. I think we got just a second here as we'll head on over to our big screen. We want to give a big shout out to L Style for sponsoring this event. Appreciate them doing that one as Chris Grimmel steps up. The new and improved Chris Grimmel. Look how skinny mini she's looking, guys. She is looking great. Kudos to her for putting in the hard work to do that. Well, let me go ahead and put in these score lines here. We'll get underway in just a moment's time with Chris Grimmel as she will take her 6 darts. I'll implement a couple scores, and we'll get going with more action here in just a moment as we continue our coverage of the L-Style Shootout here in Wisconsin. Jeremy helps out Chris to get underway. How about back? We saw Robbie Weissmith with 788, Crystal Wagner with a 788. Back-to-back 788 score lines for those two individuals. So talk up our score, or our ticker once again. And it's a hat start for Chris Grimmel. Not going to be a hat in the second go-around, but she's off to a good start. 102 there. Vaughn Perkins taking, I'll take Chrissy to beat the 830. She's off to a good start. Let's see if she can. Over on the men's board, it's Elliot Milk who's starting us off over there. Chris having a little fun back there. I can hear it out there having a chat with Paula Murphy saying, "Am I going to beat you, Paula, or what?" Well, it was a hot start for Chris, but she's kind of sizzled out. Will she beat the 830 of Paula Murphy? She's got 2 rounds to do it. And she won't be able to do it, I don't think. Yeah, 300 points on the board would be 788. That tie her with Crystal Wagner. And I don't see, well, she could very well go for the trip 20, but I don't see her doing that now. She'll just kind of continue on out. Chris trying to figure out where everybody else is at in the middle of a round. You had the opportunity, Chrissy, to beat her, but not anymore. For Chrissy Grimwell, it's a score of 567. I honestly would have figured a little bit better score for her, but that's quite all right. We're going to head on over to board number 1 for Elliot Milk as he rounds out with his last round here, sitting on 720 currently. Big last. It's the 803 score line for Elliot Milk. Take a look here at our view. Nice little setup here as we'll head on over to board number 2. Oh, did I mess up a name here? I believe I did. Yes, Cindy Johnson. I put Vanessa Tox in there instead. I thought that was a little bit confusing. That's quite all right. Here we go. Cindy Johnson. I thought Sean was going to join me. Maybe he just decided, I'm going to go hang out with everybody tonight. That's quite all right. Either way, we're rocking and rolling here. We appreciate you being here, folks. William Stewart of USA Darts here. Looks like Carlos Calderon snuck in. He'll be throwing here in just a moment, so we're going to allow him to participate. Maybe he got off of a flight late. That could be the case here. Those scores for you. There we go. Those are active and up to date. Mike Maloney currently sitting on the 1007 with Darian Ackaby right behind him. We still have Leonard Gates and Danny Baggage to throw as well, so don't forget that. As well as Rick Hinsey and numerous others. So about midway through on the men's side of things. About midway through for the men. Looks like Carlos is number 15 or 14. As Cindy looks to round us off here. Carlos is in the middle of round number 7, so we'll quickly try to jump over there. It's 496 for Cindy. Carlos with a score of 780. So good for him as Josh Cornelison will step up. Vanessa Tox will step up for the ladies. So there we go. Looks like Vanessa's going to get underway. We will head on over to board number 2 as she starts us off. As Joe would say, quietness. Those have a good laugh with that one. 150 there, opener for her. Lost my scores. Did come up with a big bull in the middle of that. There we go. Looks like Vanessa will enter into her last round. Let's see where she ends up. It'll be a score of 639 for Vanessa as we'll head on over to board number 1 to catch the conclusion of Josh's round. Currently not having the best it goes, but that happens from time to time, let's be honest. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's definitely a tougher format here. For everyone, there's no doubt about that one. You only get 6 darts and you're waiting for a little bit and watching other competitors, it can be very difficult. Josh with a score of 376. He's going to feel a little let down with that one, I feel, but that's quite all right, quite all right. Just don't put your battery in wrong there this time, buddy.
Attitude already. That's not good enough.
No, it should be all right. All righty. Kelly, you get 8 rounds for the count up, so oops. You're getting 8 rounds. So you're going to get 3 darts per round, so what, 24 darts? Thank you, sir. There we go. Liz Tynan up for the ladies. Jesse Johnson underway for the men. Or getting underway for the men, I should say. We only have 2 more shooters. Liz Tynan and Kasha Prisbul for the women. Before our seeding is decided. Yeah, whenever, man. Sorry, I'm trying to put in some scores.
Hi, bud. Am I
Well,
coming in nice and clearly?
Who is that guy?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Yep, sounded decent.
That's good. That means the battery's working. It's in the right way. How you doing, bud?
Hey, enjoying it, man. This is a pretty fun little count-up session we're having here to determine our seed. I like this.
Oh, I love it. It's brilliant. Look at that hat trick right there. It's just nonchalant and throws up the hands like I've been doing this forever, which she has. Liz Tynan has definitely been doing it forever. Look at those scores coming across, too. Mike Maloney, right now the #1 seed on the men's side, huh?
Yeah, he really put up a dominant display here.
How about Darian Akobe?
Yeah, great job for him, just kind of sneaking into that 2nd seed spot so far.
747 there from Liz Tynan, though. That's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. That's good enough to put her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th spot right now. So
Okay.
not as good as she wanted, but hey, that's quite all right. Difficult little deal to deal with. Difficult task ahead of you. I mean, honestly, you don't get enough warm-ups. You got to go practice by yourself, and then it just comes and goes like that.
Oh, for sure. And that's especially when you're up here. You got people watching you, and you're only throwing 8 rounds. So you're literally relying on 24 darts total. You don't get another chance at this. If you screw this up really badly, you're going to have the 32 seed and be going up against Mike Maloney in the first round, which nobody wants to see.
Yeah, nobody wants that, really. This is Jesse Johnson, guy from this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
He's actually from Jesse. Great,
there
but
one
you
day.
can't find him. I mean, there he is. Waupun,
Wappin,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
They have some
Trying to whop in the
good
competition.
ones here.
He has a really smooth shot. I like his throw a
Yeah,
lot.
he's got a great shot. He's a really good player, to be honest.
You can get up over 1,000. You can get 1,004 and be the 2nd seed if he just gets a 1080 here. And my math will be here all week, unfortunately, and it's wrong. He'll be able to get 904 if he would have been able to get. I'm a dork. Hey, it's early. I just got here after a 4-hour drive.
Hey, that's quite all right. We appreciate you being here, my
Oh,
man.
man. I appreciate you having me here. There's Kasha Prisbul.
It's going to be a fun weekend, I must say.
Just checking in on a hat trick from her.
This is our last woman
Okay.
on the count-up, so we'll decide our seating here in just a second, other than our on-site qualifier, which is happening in the background.
Oh, and that's only 4 points total. That's unlucky.
Lighton, why don't you calm down with your ways of saying things here in Wisconsin? I'm sure you're a native, so you're used to it.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we got a guy in the chat letting us know it's
Oh.
Waupun.
Wappin. That's what I said, right?
I
said
believe you
Wappin.
said it, but I said it definitely wrong.
Well, for sure, but it's you.
That's a common mishap for Will, as we'll go back to the chive statement if we really need to. Let's just not bring that up. Did I mess up by bringing that up? Yeah, I think I did.
Oh, I mean, not yet.
And here comes the chat.
Yeah, it's about to, that's for sure.
All right, last round for Kasha, as our seating will be decided here.
Facebook letting me know that I'm still banned for the next 9 hours.
Womp bum ba bum. 562 for Kasha. That's going to conclude our women's.
Yeah, she's not happy about that. She was locked in, too. As this is Kevin Luke stepping up here.
Yeah, let's see what Kevin can do. Still to come on our men's side. Kevin Luke, Steve
Well, that's
Diker, Rick
perfect.
Kinsey, Leonard Gates, Danny Baggish.
Woo!
And they got that order. Rick Kinsey, Leonard Gates, Danny Baggish. We're going to get them back to back to back.
That's coming up next.
That would be coming up in a couple rounds. So next up is Demery Lawrence, Jeff Johnson, Steve Diker, Rick Kinsey.
Ooh, it's about to get very exciting up in here. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. We are live here in Sturtevant.
There you go, Lighten. Let us know what it is, buddy.
Well, what's funny is I asked my teacher friend who's from Wisconsin what it was called, and I was way off when I first started talking to him about it, so he's like, good luck with this.
Oh, yes, there's some interesting names up here. If you kind of take a gander at the map and blow that thing up, Steve Hilger is one that definitely likes to throw some Wisconsin names my way during streams. Hey, I'm tuning in from this, when I know he's not.
Yeah.
He's tuning in from Milwaukee.
Yep. Well, another 180 there from Kevin Luke, and this is the thing that can happen with count up, is you start throwing too quick. Right? You start throwing quicker than your pace actually even allows for, because you're not waiting on anyone else. You're just throwing at the same target consistently. It becomes like, who can be patient and do their normal routine every time they're stepping up to the line?
Well, coming into his last round here is FKL, Kevin Luke. See what he ends up with.
You got over 900, 925 from Kevin.
I believe that's going to put him into our second spot
Does it?
over Darian.
Well, they're cheering for it.
Oh, they're cheering for the ladies. They're,
Okay.
They're announcing the final scores there for the ladies, as we'll do that here in just a second.
Well, here's Demery.
Demery, I got the pleasure of playing on Grand Board.
Demery Lawrence, right?
Demery Lawrence, yep. So our seeding, Paula Murphy, our number 1 seed. Caitlin Myers, our 2nd seed. Crystal Wagner, 3rd seed. Abby Spott, 4th. Liz Tynan, 5th. Olivia Terry, 6th. Catherine Middleton, 7th. Vanessa Talks, 8th. Carolyn Nguyen, 9th. Crystal Anderson, 10th. Chris Grimmel, 11th. Trish Romero, 12th. And Cindy Johnson, 13th. So we're missing Kasha Prisbel, as well as I may have missed one on there as well. Vanessa Talks. Nope, that's not right. He sent me the list, so I figured there was going to be at least one that I missed out on, and it happened, so.
Happens to the best of us, bud.
Hey, it
How about
does.
Chris Grimmel getting 12?
Brianna Osterheld. That didn't add her to the group, so that was the one I missed at 521.
Demery has a little flick, doesn't he? that he throws
Just
with.
a little bit.
He kind of turns the dart inwards as he's taking it back. It's an interesting motion. I like it, though. That's an interesting movement that he does there when he throws. There's Miss Olivia Terry back there saying hi to Miss Chris Grimmel. Sestefano sitting there behind Demery. Ethan, thank you so much for that. Tim Wade saying, good morning, gents.
Where are you at, Tim?
Yeah.
Are you over in Germany, or what's going on, my man?
Demery about now more than halfway through and only at 420. He's going to want to pick that up a little bit. Definitely still can. He has 9 more darts, 8 more darts now. And he's making the best of these ones. How about a 180 there from Demery Lawrence?
Yeah, solid shot there from him. We appreciate all you folks joining us this evening for our coverage of the L-Style Shootout. Lots of people tuning in. Let me tell you what. 300 plus on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
150, close to 200 on our YouTube page. You all are interested and wanting this Booyah Cup this weekend.
Well, I'd share it if I could.
Unfortunately,
Tomorrow
someone's
morning.
banned.
Tomorrow morning, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, we definitely want to remind you. We'll let this play out real quick before we give you that reminder. 1 second. Looking for another Trip 20. 783 for Demery there. We want to remind you, we do have a nice pregame show coming to your way right in front of that Booyah Cup. So 10 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. Join us here for a little pregame show where we'll give you the field, introduce the field, kind of have a couple interviews. We'll also pick our favorites as well.
Ooh,
so
I like
kinda
that.
Cool, as we'll do it right here in the pit and have some special guests join us as well. So looking forward to that one.
That's fun. Chris Trinidad saying aloha. Have a good show, guys. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, definitely appreciate that one. Hope you're doing well down there in Hawaii, sir.
How about Seth Shade? He's playing on our show this next week.
Who's that?
Seth Shade.
Oh, okay.
Remember we met him?
Siege? Yeah,
from
Siege.
Bicknell, Indiana, our very first season of the CSU Challenger Series.
Good to see. Good to see.
It's good to see Mike Maloney wearing his best dart jersey. I don't know if you saw that back there, but he was wearing just wearing a plain white T-shirt.
Well, he was wearing that plain white T-shirt, and then I came up and said, "Hey, you want to do an interview?" He threw on his jersey real quick. Said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it."
Well, then I'm sorry for calling it out. You can see him back there in the background, though.
Go ahead and update our charts here. Listen to this, buddy. Robbie Wiseman, 788. Jacob Koch, 785. Demery Lawrence, 783. Carlos Calderon, 780.
Yeah,
That's pretty
group.
close, my man.
It's Cook, by the way,
Oh, okay.
on Jacobs.
Well, I've been saying Koch this whole time.
Well,
Whoopsies.
that's what I'm here for. That one person. Here's Jeff Johnson. Jeff's from California. Paramount, California, to be exact.
Yeah, him and Carlos Calderon making the trek over here from California.
Yeah, and he plays in the same group with like Chris Lim and those guys. I believe that was NDA team.
Yeah, Cali Monsters.
Yep.
He's part of that Cali Monsters team that's dominant in the NDA.
Did he have a mustache last time we saw him?
I'm not sure about that one.
Me
I don't think
either.
he's ever rocked a mustache. He's
I
no,
feel like-
he's no Nick Georgeson, my man.
I don't know. I feel like he was doing like a handlebar thing last time we saw him. I'm going to weirdly be right on this, just so you know. Jay Boucher saying Elliot Milk is my dark horse. Paul Rogers sharing while he's on his way up here. So we'll get to meet him. That's exciting. Seth Shade saying, was this an open event or an invitational? There are certain events this weekend that are invitational. There are certain that I think anyone can play in.
Yeah, so we actually have a non-pro, a pro, and a women's bracket for the events tomorrow. But this itself is a qualifier-based deal. They hold qualifiers throughout the year. You can check that out on usadarts.com, and you can find out information for this. But, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you compete in this field? I mean, look at the talent we have here this weekend.
Yeah,
Insanity.
from top to bottom, it's a great field. Great lineup. I'm excited for it.
I am upset we did, unfortunately, have some players from last year not attend this year. We did lose out on your Chip Anderson, your Chris Lim, your Dason Alberts, I believe, played in this last year. So players like that, would love to see them back. But we did gain the likes of Dustin Holt.
Wasn't Dason on the amateur side last year?
I think he was.
Isn't
I think
that crazy?
He took over the open brackets, and then they moved to the pro side. So
I just imagine how long ago a year must have been. You know?
crazy.
Jeff up to 703, and he's going to be about that same number if he ends up around the same average of 780 something, depending on what he does here. He might fly right past it. Oh, he's going to be in that 780 range if he hits the trip. He does. 798. The high 700s again. That time for Mr. Jeff Johnson.
Yeah, we got a ton in that area.
There's Scuba. Scuba Steve Diker.
Jay letting us know we left out Mr. Jason Watt as well.
Yep.
Yeah, would love to have him participating this year. Unfortunately not.
Kevin Schmidt's in there. Wisconsinite saying, hey guys, thanks for the stream. Brother, I was hoping to see you this weekend. I met your brother just a couple minutes ago. That's probably why I said the word brother.
So still to come up, Scuba Steve, Rick Kinsey, Leonard Gates, Danny Baggish is our next 3 competitors here, folks.
See, if I would have thrown those 3 darts, I'd been like, great, wasted it. Awesome, here we go. Oh, you never want to start right after a 180, right? How are you going to back that up? Well, maybe we're just not as talented as Scuba. Now, there we go. Ooh, only 80.
I did speak with Scuba Steve, did a little interview with him a little bit earlier. I said, any goals for the weekend? He said, honestly, man, just to have fun. And I said, man, you sure about that? You were a top 8 player last year. And he said, always just have fun, relax, and enjoy yourself. Good mentality to have.
Yep. And you know what? It fits his personality perfectly. He's just a super laid back, nice, genuine person.
Got some questions about some other individuals in the chat, too. So after Danny is going to be Corey Beck, Scott Mikukovic, Bob Anderson, Larry Butler, Brett Hollanday, Dustin Holt, Seth Stefano, and we will round off with Dan Burke.
Woo!
Good little crew coming up.
And this is, again, this is for the seeding of the Booyah Cup, correct?
Yep. And we did have one individual who was a no-show tonight, and that would be Lavelle Sterling, so he'll take a no score.
Okay, so he'll be the 32 seed?
He'll be the 31 or 32 seed. I think he'll be the 31 seed, but he's coming in tomorrow, so that's why he's unfortunately not here.
Things happen.
Work and life happens. Got to do that.
There is Dustin Holt in the background. I can tell because his last name's on his jersey there, or his T-shirt. Elliot Milk sitting down back there. So is Estefano. And Scuba Steve doing some work on the dartboard. Not as much as he probably would like at this point. 6 darts left to pick it up a bit. You add 360 points to that bad boy and it doesn't look too bad.
Not at all. Looking for a little bit more, though. Ton 40 would help. To stick with the ton.
Yep. It's fun to be back up in Wisconsin, man.
Yeah, we're seeming like this is a second home for us these days. We may have to shack up and find a place to live up here.
Well, we're already Wisconsinites at heart. Might as well make it official.
7-10 there for Scuba Steve. And this one. Big shout out to L Style for allowing us to present this shootout to you all. So we want to thank them for their sponsorship of this event. Up next, Rick Kinsey, folks. My, oh my.
Yeah, this could get fun. This could get fun from Rick Kinsey. Said 5 minutes till the draw. You sure you don't want me to play the draw? I'm just kidding.
Hey, we could very well probably get in on this draw. I'll bet you. I don't know where we're at on our on-site qualifiers.
Oh, yeah, this is kind of. Is it late into the process, probably?
I don't know where we're at on our on-site qualifiers. If you want to go check, go ahead and check. And if we can get into the draw, we'll get into the draw, baby.
Oh, both of us?
What?
You're going to get in there, too?
I'll get in
I'll
there
go
if
check, then.
we get time.
You want me to go check? What do you want me to check? What am I checking?
Just see where we're at on the on-site qualifier.
All right.
If you would. Yeah, that's going to be terrible, isn't it? If I got to deal with you. Rick's going to start here in just a second. They get 6 darts. Looks like he's going to shuffle and get underway here. We'll add Scuba Steve. Score line in there for you folks at home. Flash that up so you all can see it. Hinsey did well in this event last year. I believe it was a top 6 finish for him. I think he lost out to Chris Lim and Leonard Gates, I'm going to say. Those were his 2 losses. Could be wrong on that. Low ton as he enters into his last 3 rounds. Sorry, last 4 rounds. Another big triple. Those asking about the bracket, I believe the bracket will be available on CompuSport as soon as everything is said and done. Nothing's available yet, of course, but will be in the near future. I think the qualifier is currently on the CompuSport app, so you can check that out and see where we're at in that event. Hinsey not happy with this round there. So here we go, 690 going into the last round for Hinsey. It's going to be a final score of 811 for Hinsey here. Got to think you probably won a little bit more than that, but hey, sometimes it is what it is, right? 811 will still put him at the top half of the pack, so kudos to Rick on that one. 811. Looks like Maloney's going to pull that tip out of the board for us. We appreciate him doing that one. Next up, Leonard Gates. Looks like they're doing a little maintenance here as they continue on.
Okay. You want the information?
Yeah, either one, right? Alrighty. We had a second there before Leonard stepped up to the plate. You know what? How about this one? Last weekend I was thrown off for a bit. I wanted to tell you this, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm playing in the top 8 of cricket versus Eric Gregory. Soldier's right next to me playing his opponent.
Yeah.
I hear when I'm throwing, "Oh, come on, Gator." I said, "What is that?" He said, "Oh, that's our baseball name." I said, "Jesus, get out of here." So Gator is the nickname for Gates, I guess, that he goes with every once in a while. Paul asking about the format of the on-site qualifier. I believe it's the same as the qualifiers for the Booyah Cup itself. So I think it's a 5-on-1 cricket best of 5. You can check out all that information at usadarts.com. Just check out the qualifier info. 401 for Gates already as he enters into his 4th round. Solid stuff. Reminder, Gates is your defending champion in the Booyah Cup. So he's the one to beat this weekend as he continues to throw trip 20 after trip 20 after trip 20. Got 114 in the blind draw tonight. Wow. Some great numbers there. Remember, our top spot for the men is Mike Maloney with a 1,007 scoreline. Right now, Gates is looking hot to best this, as that's a big 180 going into his last round, needing just 21 points. Or 21, that was wrong. What was that? 23 points. My apologies. And he barely escapes it. He barely escapes it, and everybody yells in the background because they know he beat him by 1 point. 1 point, folks. Leonard Gates takes the 1 seed away from Mike Maloney. Well, hello. I guess one
I need money.
one to miss out on. Sean Green continues to run in here and take my money, I guess, because he needs a little bit extra to get into the blind draw, so. Matt Mistretta saying, dude, he did that on purpose. Yeah, he did it on purpose. I think everybody out there knows it, too. Well, here we go. Danny Baggish underway with his count-up round. That 1,008 scoreline is going to be tough to beat. I thought the 1,007 was going to be difficult. Gonna have to pack that trip 20 bed now if you're Danny Baggish. Fill it up. Cat asking if we'll be broadcasting all weekend. that is the plan. We'll take some sporadic breaks in between. Maybe miss the first round of a couple events to shut down and restart. But other than that, yeah, we'll be here all weekend, including the main coverage on Sunday with a pregame show as well as our main stream of the Booyah Cup. There's a 180. Danny would have liked that a little bit sooner. Got a question about Danny being streamed. He is no longer a PDC player, so he can be streamed just fine. It's only those professional PDC tour card holders that unfortunately can't be streamed most of the time, or there's restrictions put in place for them. So that's a score of 784 for Danny Baggish. Honestly, I think he's going to come out with that one and feel like he should have had a lot more. It's going to put him about mid-pack here. This is Corey Beck. He played in last year's event as well. Matt Stefano has not gone yet. He's going to be our second to last competitor. Still to come, Scott Mijokovic, Bob Anderson, Larry Butler, Brett Hollanday, Dustin Holt, Seth Stefano, and our last competitor is Mr. Dan Burke. Corey starts off with a big 140. I feel like you wanted a little bit more out of that round, but currently sitting on 307 going into round 4. Definitely taking his time, doing a couple of those Paul Lim ghost throws, or if you're from the Wisconsin area, I should say instead of Paul Lim ghost throws, maybe I should just say Scott Kirshner ghost throws, as you guys are more familiar with that one. Downstairs is Beck. Back up top. Can't find anything worth value there. Corey going into his last round at 682 currently. There's a handful of players from the 698 to 780 range. By handful, I mean 6 or 7. A little bit more than a handful, honestly. It's going to be a scoreline of 767 for Corey Beck. Put him about just under mid-pack, if not right at mid-pack. This is Scott Milwaukee. Got the buzzard nest jersey on, the Milwaukee Brewers hat. I'm guessing he's from this neck of the woods. Yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the hometown for him. Big last there. Scott manages to pull off a ton. $225 here for Scott. Scott, I can't remember where he finished last year. I think he was in the field last year. Yeah, he finished top 32. I do have that information already written down, so it would be helpful if you just looked at that, Will. You know. Just talking with Jeremy Byrne. How about this? 35 men and 10 women in the on-site qualifiers right now. That is some impressive numbers for the on-site qualifiers. Kudos to all you folks joining us for that one. Well, Jay, of course we're going to get those matches your way. I mean, we're not going to just stop streaming after tonight. We will shut down the stream after the conclusion of our count-up, but we'll be back shortly after for some qualifier, on-site qualifier matches. None of the blind draw, though. Priority will be the on-site qualifiers before tomorrow. So, yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't think we wouldn't do those, but we're here for the weekend. Of course, we're going to stream what we can. So, Corey Beck with that 676. Following him was Scott Milwaukee with the 742 scoreline. In will step Bob Anderson, another Milwaukee player. we go, Bob. I don't know how Bob does it. It's so crazy to me how Bob sets up. Watch his non-throwing hand. Just relaxed right next to his body. Just puts the dart down towards the ground and lets it hang. That is so crazy to me. I'm one of those guys that has to have it, you know, my arms kind of, my elbow not straight down, but kind of cocked in, easily access to those darts. Not Bob. He likes a relaxed dart. Just pulls it back up and goes right into it. So it's just crazy how relaxed that non-throwing hand is. Looks like we got a couple of our ladies already heading out this evening, electing not to play in the blind draw. That'd be Kat Middleton and Kasha Prisbull. They're just going to get ready for the weekend and head on out. Still to come. 5 players after this one. Larry Butler, Brett Hollanday, Dustin Holt, Seth Stefano, Dan Burke is our remaining players left in this one. For the 180. Has the 180. Good shot from Bob Anderson. Can he put in another one? Not this time. Instead, it's a scoreline of 685 for Bob. Gotta put him. Oh, sorry. One more round. My apologies. Not too quick, Will. Not too quick. That changes things. I was just about to say, I'll find him towards the back part of the pack, but if you can put in a big triple here and move him to the front half. 825 for Bob. Exactly like I said, that'll move him to the front half. Slides in front of Jesse Johnson, right behind Garrick Rakowski. So up next will be Mr. Larry Butler, as he will step in right now, coming off that World Senior appearance. Larry Legend, as I call him. Numerous people call him Larry Legend, let's be honest. Nice to see him participating in the field once again. Sorry, once again, he wasn't in the field last year, so it's nice to see him participating this year. We'll get underway with Larry Butler's count-up attempt. I want to give a little shameless plug as well. Looks like Amy's Wish tournament's right around the corner, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, next weekend is the Emmy's Wish tournament, so that's going to be in Janesville, Wisconsin. So if you're in the area, head on over to Janesville. Good 1-7-1 from Larry. See a little step there from Larry. He's being gentle. I think I heard a little rumor he's dealing with some foot issues. Or a issue with his foot. So that's why he's kind of looking like he may be limping around a little bit. But overall, 844 score for the Eagle, Larry Butler. Brett Hollanday, I did want to mention to him because he participated in last year's event. For Brett, it was a top 32 finish, but Brett had some impressive finishes in the qualifiers. I think he had 3, 4, maybe second place finishes in the qualifiers. So it was easy to say he was our first non-winner to get qualified for this event, so he's going to be a handful to deal with. I would not want to have Brett Hollanday across from me as an opponent in my first match. I'll be on all right with it. So, not a foot injury, as Sarah Butler says. It's a pain going down the leg from the lower back. Is that scatia, I believe is what it's called? So, a back/leg injury, I guess. So, thanks for the name drop on that one, Sharon. We appreciate it. I knew it was something. I just didn't know exactly what that was, so it's a mentionable nonetheless. Brett searching for a little bit more than he's getting already. Big triple with the last 2 darts. Oh, sciatic nerve. Oh, of course, sciatic, duh. Good old doctor spelling. Love it. Big 2 trip 20s there. Pulls him up to 688. This will allow his last attempt to possibly move him in to a group of the top players. He's got to find a triple here. Triple pull him up to 811. Instead, it's 771 for Brett, as Dustin Holt will be our next player up. After that, Sestefano, then Dan Burke. Here we go with Dustin. Our top two players, you can see down on the bottom, Leonard Gates, 1,008 points. Mike Maloney, 1,007. Dustin, an individual who's been actively playing on the steel tip side of things, trying his hand at the WDF circuit, just becoming an all-around better player. I think last year he was top 10 in the ADO circuit. I want to say 6th is what I believe off the top of my head. Maybe wrong on that one. I'm going to brush that one off. And shaking his head in disapproval. He knows he's not the best of goes here. But as mentioned before, this is kind of a different task. You can tell he's really upset here. He's kind of losing it. You can't lose it, Dustin. You got to keep going. You got to maintain. You don't want to be the very last seed, my man. Now he's hitting trip 5 the last, but 662 as he enters his last round. Where will he end up at? He's certainly not going to be happy as he throws away in disgust his last couple darts. As a 720 overall for Dustin Holt, and you can definitely see there, not ideal. He's actually going to have to fight it out with Tyler Montgomery, who scored a 720 as well. So they will have a shootout after this shootout to find out who's going to be the one up. It'll be Sestefano, then Dan Burt to round us off in our L-style shootout tonight. Definitely appreciate all you folks joining us this weekend, or this afternoon. I should be careful about what I say. We anticipate you joining us this weekend. So we got a great bit of coverage for you. Fantastic darts to be had. That classic tongue out style from Sestefano. Sean letting us know he apparently drew Sestefano in the chat. So you can check him out back there. There's Sean actually back in the back. Texting away. So enjoy the 2 a.m. darts, buddy. Make a run. Seth trying to just keep steady, keep consistent. 5:20 with 4 rounds to go is a good place to be. Great shot there from Stefano. Now he is going to be in position here, folks. 3 rounds to go, sitting on 660. This is appetizing if you're Stefano. The youngster finished last year in the top 12. Looking to put himself in a good position for this year. And there is a straightward dart. 43 scored for him. That's difficult after some very good darts from the get-go. But a big 140 or 180 would be handy here. Instead, it's going to be a 43 once again. 886 for Seth. That's difficult last couple rounds, coming up with 243s. But overall, for Stefano, that's going to tie him with Ryan Gervas. So they'll have a shootout for that 5th place spot after our stream. And last up, the one and only Dan Burke. Can he be our last person, and can he steal the #1 seed away from Leonard Gates? Dan taking a big breath there before he gets into it. Rocking some new jerseys from DJD. Some new Dan Burke signatures. Dan would love a little bit more than he's producing right now. There's no denying that one. So looks like we're going to get our playoffs or our shootout after the shootout coming up after this one. So right now Ryan Jervis and Stefano will go against each other, and then Dustin Holt and Tyler Montgomery will do a couple count-ups to see who comes out on top of those tied score lines. And you can really tell he's shaking it off here. As mentioned before, this can be difficult. It can be a little bit of a difficult task, this count up. Just a different format than really anything you're ever used to. I mean, how often you get one go at a count up after sitting for, well, it started at 6:30, so it's 8:43 right now. So 2 hours. Burke ends up with a score of 633, as that will end the L-style shootout, and we'll head into the playoff session, I guess you would call this, as we got a couple people that ended up with the same score line, so we want to make sure that we get that one fixed. I'm going to just step out and see how we're going to do this one. I'll leave the score lines there for you guys to check real quick. I think it may be Seth to go ahead and throw first. Yep, Seth will go ahead and throw first, so no need to go anywhere. I was just about to say, I wonder if you see Seth go ham on this one, as the pressure's kind of off. I guess we'll see. Whoa. I don't know why we saw that one happen. One second. All right, so it's just 2 rounds, I guess. I didn't realize that, so I thought we were going 8 rounds. I guess it's just 2. That's why I had to make sure. I was like, what was that? What did we just see there? I guess 2 rounds kind of makes it a little bit quicker on us. So, but it makes it a little bit more difficult on Ryan after that start from Seth. It looks like Ryan will not get the advantage. Seth will. So sorry for the confusion there. That threw me off for a little bit. I had to poke my head out and go, what did we just see there, bud? So it'll be Holt versus Tyler Montgomery. So I'll move some stuff around here to get our final score line. Sorry about that. Just getting informed about what we got coming our way. So looks like after this throw, we'll have some women's qualifiers coming our way next. So we'll refresh the stream. We'll shut this one down, and we'll come in with a new stream for our on-site qualifiers here this evening. I will probably grab a water, maybe a Coca-Cola before I start commentating those events, but we'll get them underway so we can enjoy some coverage nonetheless. So here's Tyler. Looking to best Dustin Holt. Tyler only 85 that go around. It's 163 for Tyler, so that is going to do it for the L-style shootout here, as we're apparently getting bombarded by Mike Maloney and
How long you been in the
Dustin Holt here. Not too long. Not too long, fellas.
kind of stinks in here. You're the only one in here. Where's Sean?
Sean's out there playing in the blind draw, apparently.
Oh my God.
Came in and commentated a half of a count up and said, all righty, I'm getting out of here.
Play with us tomorrow? I'm here.
All righty, folks. Well, we'll be right back with more action here as we move to our on-site qualifiers. That was the L-style shootout for the Booyah Cup. Check out Booyah Darts Facebook. I'm sure he'll be releasing the seated information here in just a moment's time on Facebook. We appreciate you being here, folks. Thanks for the fantastic viewership tonight. Over 500 viewers for our count-up session. We appreciate that, and we're not done yet. Join us in a moment for more action as we move to our on-site qualifiers. Thanks for joining us. William Stewart here of USA Darts, joined this weekend by some boom goes the dynamite guy, Mr. Sean Green. We'll be back with more momentarily. Thank you.